This is a continuation of the 289 Ford build, and as you can see, I've gotten some progress done. First thing I've got to do is I'm going to take this intake manifold off of it here, because what we're going to do next, I've got the rocker arms just sitting because I've got brand new chrome moly push rods and everything. So the valve trim is complete. Now I've got to set the initial valve lash on the rocker arms, the adjustable rocker arms. Basically, this is going to be something that I haven't done too many times in my life, so I'm going to be sure and take my time and be careful with it. But we'll walk you through it, and we'll show you what we're going to do to set up the initial valve lash. Then once that's done, I'm going to go through and tell you everything that I've done since the last video. Okay, essentially what we do when walking through this, and I've got my distributor in it to point to the number 1 cylinder. That just reminds me where top dead center is, but I also have it on my timing pointer. Right now we're at top dead center on the compression stroke cylinder number 1. And the first thing you do on this is you basically set it up on the first cylinder in the firing order. Following the firing order, you adjust the rockers until you have 0 lash, which means you have no up and down play on the rocker arms. Once that's done, tighten them another 3/4 of a turn, rotate the crank 90 degrees, go to the next one in the firing order. Now this being a Ford small block from the 1960s, first of all, the numbering of the cylinders starting on the passenger side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Firing order on this is 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 8. So you follow that path, doing one at a time, starting with cylinder number 1, adjusting to 0 lash, tighten 3/4 of a turn, rotate the crank 90 degrees, go to the next cylinder in the firing order. So let's get started. Now you have to take your time with this. Be very careful. I like to do this when the lifters are not pumped up. That way it's a little bit easier to adjust everything. But what we do is simply, and one thing you want to be sure you do is when you're tightening these, when you're checking for 0 lash, take your wrench off of the nut, because this can push it down and give you a false reading. Like for example, with this on there, it kind of makes it difficult to adjust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this slowly. See, I still got a little bit of play there. Just take your time, do this very methodically. Almost there with that one. Still got just a little bit of play in that one. I'm going to back this up just a little bit just to triple check it. Okay, that's that one. Let's move on to the next one, to the exhaust valve on the same cylinder. Check this again, make sure I'm not compressing the valve. or the lifter, that is. A little bit of play still. Okay, we're there. So now I'm going to take these and I'm going to tighten them 3/4 of a turn. So, starting right here, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Same with the other one. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. That puts the proper amount of preload on that. Now we move on. Next thing we do is we're going to rotate the crank 90 degrees and do cylinder 5, which is the next one in the firing motor. So taking this, 1/4 turn, and we're there. Time to do cylinder 5. Okay. Again, I can triple check everything to make sure I've got it done. It's got a little bit of play on it. Okay, we're going to do these 3/4 of a turn as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Of course, you're going to have a little bit of wobble on that. That's fine. The important thing is you've got the proper preload set. Next cylinder up. 1, 5, go to 4, rotate the crank another 90 degrees, go to cylinder 4. Now I'm going to stop talking now, go ahead and get this done. It's the same technique on all of them. right, and just like that, valve lash is set. Now it's simply a question of getting the intake manifold bolted on. I am, of course, going to, once I get ready to start this thing, I am going to run oil pressure up to it. But you'll notice running through the cycle of valves, you did 2 full revolutions of the engine. And after the last turn, you can see I'm right back on top dead center, which is exactly where I want to be. So that part is done. Valves are adjusted. Time to put the intake manifold on it. I've got more parts coming. I've got a distributor hold down bolt coming. So I've got that coming. And since the last video, in addition to that, I have put the fuel pump on. The pulleys are on with the fan. I've got the alternator bracket in place. That's the only accessory coming on the car. Fan is in place. I did manage to get the crank torque down. So as you can see there, the engine is really coming together. Valve train is complete. Now it's simply a matter of intake manifold. I've got some gaskets coming for the carburetor. I'm not going to leave the carburetor on when I drop it in there, but I am going to set it up just to get pictures of it and everything. Now, as far as the exhaust manifolds go, let's walk over here. I am in the process of getting those cleaned up. As you can see, this right here, this is where your clutch stove or or not your clutch stove, rather your choke stove goes. You've got 2 pipes, one that goes into here, one that goes in here. One runs up to the carburetor, one runs up to the choke. That controls your choke for cold starts. I did have to drill out the old pipe there and here. I've got new bolts for this, so I'm going to go through and clean all these up, get them painted and ready to go on the car. As far as parts go, the distributor that I ended up buying is a remanufactured distributor, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is an original factory Ford distributor. This is a points distributor. I may leave it with the points. I may go with a Pertronics kit on it. I haven't made up my mind on that yet. Running out of parts, as you can see. So we're getting really close to getting this done. Now, in order to seal it up finally for oil to go into it, I've got to get a filter, which I can do that pretty easily. I've got other parts coming as well. Again, that distributor bolt for the hold down is coming as well. But that essentially is how you set up the initial valve train adjustment for the rocker arms, adjustable rocker arms on this particular thing. Again, set it at top dead center, tighten it to 0 lash on the first cylinder, which is no up and down play at all. Then tighten each bolt 3/4 of a turn, 90-degree rotation each step for the crank. Go to the next cylinder on the firing order. Again, 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 8 is the firing order for old 289s like this. Hope you found that a little bit informative. This is something that I've learned to do rather recently. Angel at Rookie Pilot has a video out that I basically did the initial learning curve on this, did some more research on it, confirmed everything. Shout out to him for the instruction on that. That was quite helpful. But next step, of course, is continue bolting all of the components together on this engine and getting it ready. Once the engine itself is complete, I'm then going to move forward, put a clutch and throw-out bearing and everything on it. And then I'm going to bolt the transmission up to it. Once the transmission bolts up to it, the drivetrain is going to be complete. I do still have to get a drive shaft, which I can do pretty easily. There are many companies that make T5 conversion drive shafts for 66 Mustangs. I just have to order one. They're about $350. So that'll be on the block as well. Next video, you're going to see me continuing on getting this assembled and bolting on parts, but I'm out of parts right now, as you can see, so we're going to end this video here. Thanks for joining me. Hit like and subscribe if you like the content. We'll see you next time.